What's going on, guys? God bless you. Carlos here with Serranos Mobile Detail in Dallas, Texas. Welcome to another video. Today's video, guys, is going to be I want to talk to you guys about five things or 5 tips of things you as a detailer should never do. So hopefully we learn something, right? Anyways, it's finally cloudy out here. We need the rain, because as you guys can see, my grass isn't green anymore. My grass used to be the greenest one here, but I left the water running one day for about, I think it was like 10 hours. My wife, when she woke up the next morning, there was like literally like a stream of water like way down there. So since then, I am prohibited from using too much water. Anyways, let's get this video started. All right, so tip number 1, when using a steamer, and you know, this one may be some people will say this is true, this is not true, you know, but this is just something that I think I've kind of noticed through the years. Tip number 1 is when using a steamer, guys, don't use your steamer and just point it right at, like, if let's per se you got areas here that you may need to touch up. Don't put the gun on here and start rubbing it, if that makes sense. You don't put steam on these types of plastics. A lot of plastics nowadays, they don't they're not built like back then. So literally, if you put a lot of heat, if you're trying to really like clean this up, it will burn the plastic. You will burn it, which will create like a white, like it'll turn gray, if that makes sense. So tip number 1, when steaming, you always want to steam from far. You know, you don't want to put this steamer right up close, because you can cause damage, you can burn, which if you do burn it, you're gonna have to get a whole new door panel probably. So steam from far away. And this tip is maybe for a lot of the beginners. If you're just starting, if you haven't used a steamer, steamers have their pros and cons. They give you amazing cleaning abilities, but if you're not careful, if you're trying to put this gun all close up here, you will burn through the plastic, or you will burn the material. Another thing I see a lot of them, a lot of detailers do, is they'll put this gun and they'll put it right to this leather and try to clean it. And what will that do is it will burn through the leather material, like it'll fade it out. So be very cautious when it comes to your steamer. Tip number 2, guys, vinyl flooring. When it comes to vinyl flooring, what do I use, right? I'll use either serrano sauce, or we'll use PNS interior cleaner, and we'll scrub everything nicely, agitate it, and that's it. Tip number 2 is really don't dress your vinyls. Don't dress your vinyl flooring nor your running boards, right? You get a lot of customers will be like, hey, dress my running boards, please. I want them to look good, right? They're faded already, and they want you to put like a dressing on there, right? When it comes to vinyl flooring, I always pretty much don't dress that, because I don't want to run into any liability issues. Meaning, if this customer says to put tire dressing or put the like a dressing on there, right? When they come in here to get in, if you have a dressing on here, they will literally slip, right? What will that do? It can cause a big accident. For the customer can fall, hit their head, and now guess what? You're in for a big surprise with either a court hearing, you're gonna get their medical bills, even if you told, you know, some people don't say anything, and that's when you get in trouble, because you didn't say anything. So when working with vinyl, I always tell my customers I am not responsible if anything happens to them, right? Because we don't want any liabilities, and I always have it in writing, right? So that's why. But majority of the times, I stress heavily on I don't dress vinyl flooring, because I don't want them to slip and fall. I don't dress the running boards, because it's same thing. They can slip and fall. You know, so be very cautious when doing vinyl flooring. Clean it up nicely, right? Use your whatever preferred cleaner you want, nicely agitated, and that's it. That way you don't remove that the rubber coating that it has, and you really let that vinyl flooring do the work as far as maintaining that like stickiness, if that makes sense, or that rubbery feel. So when it comes to vinyl floorings, I don't dress. If I do, which is very rarely, I will put it in text. I'm not responsible if anything happens. And if they're like, no, that's fine, then guess what? I am out of it. Long story short, a long time ago, I did have that issue where I told the customer, hey, I'm not responsible if anything happens. And unfortunately, she ended up falling because even though I did remove a lot of that dressing off the vinyl to just make to even it out, there was still that a little bit of slickness on it, and that's me rubbing it off. Unfortunately, she slipped and she ended up kind of sending me a medical bill for like, I think it was like 4,000. I think I forgot. It was a long time ago. And so I inboxed her and I was like, hey, what's this for? She was like, oh, this is for you to pay my bill. I ended up falling, and I was like, well, unfortunately, that's not my business. I'm not responsible. I'm sorry you fell. But as I sent in the writing, I wasn't responsible, and you said that was fine. So that was pretty much me like washing my hands off. I didn't do it, you know. And even then I sent that to a lawyer and was like, okay, you know, nothing to worry about. It's in writing, so we're good. So that's why I don't dress running boards or vinyl flooring anymore. I try not to, but now obviously better products and stuff, you're able to give a good quality finish without having to dress, if that makes sense. Tip number 3, guys, and I'm literally just giving my my vehicle just a quick little wipe down. I'm using DIY ceramic gloss spray, which has been my favorite to use literally for all my vehicles right now. There will be a giveaway with this product as well. I will definitely be doing a product review on this product as well. But tip number 3 is something I see a lot of detailers advertise it. What do they say? We guarantee our work or your money back. That is a no-no. As a detailer, no matter how bad you need the money, never guarantee anything just to get the sale. Because some people will literally have you detail their car, and even if you did a great job, they will say, I didn't like it, I want my money back. And guess what? It's in your phrase. You guarantee it or your money back, right? And unfortunately, there are some people out there that they're bad. They're gonna want their money back regardless. So don't guarantee anything when it comes to your work. Do the best you can, and that's it. But if you're advertising that you're gonna give them their money back, erase that immediately, because some people will want their money back. Tip number 4. One of the reasons I love living here in Wiley is because I get to just see this like unfold, like all the clouds and stuff. But anyways, tip number 4, guys, don't overbook, guys. Whenever you start your business, don't overbook. Even if you've been doing this for a while, don't overbook. Overbooking is going to create you just big headaches, big issues, very upset customers. And what do you mean by don't overbook? Right? As you begin your journey as a detailer, right, you're going to be able to know how long it's going to take you to do every detail, right? Or on average, how long your detailing packages take. If you're doing basics, you know, definitely you can do a couple. When we get into detailing, that's a whole different ballgame, because you don't know exactly how long it's gonna take you, right? So when I started my business, I was doing, even till today, if I wanted to, I can push the limits of my body, and I can do about 5 details per day. And that's a lot. Now, I just do 1 car per day, pushing it 2, right? Because I'm able to do a vehicle in about 2 to 3 hours. and then I'll give myself about an hour to drive to the next location. Kind of, that's like my hydration stage, rest, drink something, you know, and then I get to the next customer, and then that car will take me about 2 to 3 hours as well, right? In theory, I work 6 hours per day. I don't, you know, about, right? If I do 2 cars per day. Usually I do 1 car per day. And the reason I do that is because I don't want to rush this car. You know, I don't want to rush this customer just to get to that next customer because I know I got another appointment later on, then I got to do another one, right? So don't overbook. Do maybe 2 cars, 3 cars max. Give that car your full attention, and it's gonna work out better. When you overbook, now you're having to call this customer and say, hey, I'm running behind, or I forgot I had you in my setups or in my books. Can we reschedule? Now this customer is upset that you have to reschedule them because you couldn't get to them. So don't overbook. You know, have fun with your business, learn yourself, learn really what you're able to give, and trust me, the quality of your details are going to get even better, and your customer is going to appreciate you. And the last tip, but the most important tip as well: never lie. Always be very honest, be very transparent. Don't lie just to get the job. If you feel like you're not 100% capable of providing that service, tell the customer, hey, unfortunately, I really don't know how to do that job, or I don't know how to tackle this. Let me see if I can find someone else for you that can take care of that for you. And guess what? That customer, one, is going to appreciate you even more because you were honest. And guess what? At times, they'll just be like, man, just, you know, go for it. Do what you can, right? As long as you're honest, customers will be like, go ahead and do it, right? But yeah, just be very honest. Don't lie to customers. If you break something, let the customers know, like, hey, I broke this piece, you know. And a lot of the times, pieces that are broken already, or maybe you hit it with air and it flew off, they were probably broken already. You're just panicking, right? Right then and there, you tell the customer, hey, look, I was blowing this thing and this button flew off, and they'll tell you, yeah, man, I broke it, or my wife broke it one day when she was trying to turn it, or there's always a reason to it, right? So don't panic. Know your cars, right? The more you work on different types of cars, they all have the same issues, if that makes sense. For example, if you're working on Tahoes, I think it's like, I forgot the year models, but there's some, well, I think all the Tahoes are bad, sadly. It's their driver doors, their driver side doors. They tend to be loose, and when you go to pull that door, the whole thing comes off, right? Don't panic. It's very normal. Those have that issue. You know, don't be like, hey, I'm gonna pay for this. There's already previous damage. Know your cars. If the car looks already, I don't want to say beat up, but if the car looks already like it has its times, you see scratches here and there, most likely there's already previous damage on this car. The majority of the times, guess what? Here you come and barely tap on something and it breaks off, and now guess what? They want a whole new thing. You have to know your cars. Look and observe your problems before you even start the car. That way you can tell the customer, hey, look, this is an issue here. I'm not responsible if this falls off or this breaks off because it's already previously damaged, right? Do your homework before you start the car, because last thing you want is you want to be paying a customer a whole new paint job because when you hit it with your pressure washer, the paint chipped off when the paint was already peeling, if that makes sense. But these are just 5 tips that I hope are going to help you as a detailer grow. And maybe if you haven't implemented these, try these out. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. As always, God bless you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next video.